How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at the scariest photos sent to us by viewers. But just quickly, before we dive into these creepy pictures, remember to hit that subscribe button for more awesome, scary content just like this.
This scary picture was sent to us by a viewer called Beauty Mama. In August 2008, the viewer was taking a pleasant stroll with her husband around an area of Norwich, England called Elm Hill. They were taking some practice photos as part of a photography course that they were studying at the time. As they strolled past St Andrew's Church, an eerie photo was taken that can't quite be explained. The viewer didn't notice anything unusual about the church while taking the photos, and they certainly didn't see anything in the window. It wasn't until later that night, when reviewing the snaps, that they noticed a strange entity in the stone archway atop the church. It appears to be a white figure with a strange, translucent, almost smoky quality to it. It sits in stark contrast to the dark stone archway and the shadows behind it. The viewer claims that there was a tall building behind them when they took the photo, which would have blocked any chance of cloud or sun reflections. Beauty Mama said that her husband is somewhat of a skeptic and doesn't believe in ghosts. However, he was at a loss to explain this image. User Is Your Girl Tori sent us this very scary picture on Instagram that may well show the face of a ghost. Tori said she was in her parents' bedroom getting her hair brushed by her mum. Her dad was watching on, all tucked up in bed. Tori's mum decided to take a quick snap of him as he was covered in pillows and blankets. When they looked at the photo, their blood ran cold as they noticed a strange face looking out over the dad's shoulder. The figure looks to be a young blonde boy or girl. They have an intense look in their eye, which creates a really uneasy contrast to the cheerful, cheeky expression of the dad. Tori said that it couldn't be her sister as she was in her room and has dark hair. Since the bizarre incident, Tori claims she doesn't go in her parents' bedroom despite it being over 5 years since it happened. The family has never been able to explain the eerie ghost photo and rarely look at it because it's far too distressing. This terrifying photo was sent to us by a viewer called Citrus Lemon. The story goes that when they were young, they were playing a modified game of hide and seek with their new camera phones. The rules were simple enough: find a spot to hide in a dark room, and one person would take a photo with a flash, then see if they could spot anyone hiding in the photo. They played several rounds and all was normal. People would hide, the flash would go off. Then one round, the person with the phone let out a horrible scream after they took the photo. Quickly, the lights came on and everyone gathered around. The person who had taken the photo was noticeably shaken and had tears welling up in their eyes. When everyone looked at the phone, this was the image on the screen. Everyone stood around, shocked at what they saw. In the photo, a thin boy can be seen crawling eerily through the doorway. He's in a bizarre upside down posture with his head tilted backwards. The most chilling part of it all, there was absolutely no one playing the game that day that looks anything like the boy in the photo. Citrus Lemon said they don't like looking at the photo. It's the first time they've seen it in years and it still makes their stomach churn. To this day, they have no explanation for this image. Google Maps has seen its fair share of scary pictures over the years, but an eerie face has been spotted on the side of the road and it's starting to freak people out. Viewer Paul DT said they were bored one day and decided to cruise around in Google Street View. They were clicking along the S. DuPont Highway in Felton, Delaware when they spotted some old abandoned shacks on the side of the road. If you zoom in on the dilapidated house in this image, you can see an eerie face peering out through the open doorway. The face looks to be grey and gaunt with a long chin and nose, similar to a common portrayal of a witch. Delaware and surrounding states have a long history associated with witchcraft. Indigenous tribes describe shamans or witches that once lived among them. They would practice a form of dark magic and be referred to as night travelers. These mysterious occult practitioners were often accused of transforming into owls and flying about at night. One legendary tale states that a hunter managed to shoot an owl out of the sky. When they went to investigate the kill, they found a shaman wounded in the bushes. Furthermore, in 1955, witchcraft as a crime was purged from Delaware's statutes for being archaic, in effect making witchcraft a legal practice. Then, in 2010, Delaware US Senate candidate Christine O'Donnell came under fire for being a suspected witch. In 1999, on Bill Maher's television show Politically Incorrect, O'Donnell admitted to being involved with witchcraft, stating she at one point sat on a satanic altar. This caused widespread criticism, which led to O'Donnell creating a tongue-in-cheek commercial in which she declared, "I'm not a witch." While the event did get blown out of proportion, becoming easy fodder for political diatribe, it does hint at something a little more sinister. It suggests that perhaps there are groups of people congregating in Delaware to practice black magic. Some people infer there are even covens of witches thriving in Delaware, making the most of the reformed witchcraft laws. Could this seemingly innocent Google Maps image be a glimpse of one of the Delaware witches? One of our viewers, Colette, sent us this very scary picture. It seems to show a strange white object hovering above her daughter's left shoulder. Whatever the object is, it seems to have a blurry quality to it despite the rest of the image being in focus. Colette said that her daughter Natalie has experienced all sorts of paranormal events her entire life. She said that her daughter would often talk to an imaginary friend named Penny with long blonde hair. One day when Natalie was only 3 or 4, she screamed from her bedroom. When her parents ran to check on her, they couldn't open the door. It was as though it was being held by something. Eventually, they noticed that the door's hinges had been bent, forcing the door closed. Colette's husband had to get his tools out and hammer the hinges straight before Natalie could come out of her room. Colette said she got their house blessed after a slew of other supernatural events. Often Natalie would complain that strange lights were following her around the house. Objects had been known to inexplicably fly off shelves as well. One night, a heavy popcorn maker fell off an upstairs shelf while the family were having dinner. It smashed to pieces on the floor without any explanation. At this stage, Colette has zero explanation for the strange photo of her daughter. She claims she's passed the picture on to photography experts who are at a loss to explain the white object. Colette also mentioned that she herself had a strange encounter with a glowing orb of light. She said she was getting ready for bed one night when a ball of light, slightly larger than an orange, came to rest on her chest. Frightened, she called for her husband, who ran into the room. He too could see the orb and was dumbfounded by what it was. Then, just as they tried to take a photo of the mysterious energy, it disappeared. A famous magazine in the UK, Fate and Fortune, are writing an article on this family, the house, and all the scary pictures in lieu of the paranormal events. With the family's history in mind, what do you think this photo has captured? Could it be evidence of one of the balls of light that seems to follow the family around? Is it the spirit of Natalie's imaginary friend, or is there a more rational explanation? Leave us your thoughts in the comments section below. A fan of ours known as Johnny sent this scary picture in, claiming he's captured the spirit of an old monk. Johnny said they were staying in the famous Menga Hotel located near the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, when they took a rather bizarre photo. The area is notorious for ghost sightings, harking back to its heritage as a military compound and political prison. Disembodied battle cries are often reported by tourists visiting the area. Soldiers in 19th century attire have been spotted, only to disappear moments later. Even visions of monks in robes have been seen haunting this blood-soaked land. Johnny's photo purports to show one of these infamous monks. If you look in the top left-hand corner of the image, you can see a black entity that appears to be wearing a robe. The figure is hunched, yet partially see-through, and almost looks as though it's hovering. The Menga Hotel is famous for being the place where Theodore Roosevelt recruited men to fight with him in the Spanish-American War. Hotel staff have reported all sorts of strange paranormal happenings, such as objects inexplicably flying across the room. Others also claim to have seen the spirit of Roosevelt himself sitting at the bar after hours. With so much reported supernatural activity in a relatively small area, it's fascinating to consider Johnny's photo as some small proof that spirits may actually be haunting this old hotel. Before we get to that number one spot and take a look at a terrifying photo taken in a hotel in Taipei, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on channel notifications. That way you'll be completely up to date with all our latest videos. A scary picture has emerged showing a ghostly handprint on the outside of a hotel window, and it's super unsettling. Viewer John Samosa sent us this eerie photo via email. In December 2018, he and two friends were enjoying a holiday together when something truly chilling happened. While staying in an undisclosed 4-star hotel in Taipei, Samosa awoke one morning to see a strange hand mark printed onto the window. Freaked out, he and his friend tried to open the window to investigate, but were unable to do so as the window was sealed shut for safety reasons. Samosa and his friends were staying on the 16th floor, making it impossible to be some kind of prank. Samosa also pointed out that he later noticed what looks to be a little face just below the handprint. It looks to be two eyes peering into the hotel room. While the face might simply be a case of pareidolia, the handprint is undeniable. The handmark could be left over from a window cleaner, but Samosa swears it wasn't there when they checked in. It appeared overnight. He also noted that it was unusually cold outside and that it would have to be a particularly devoted prankster to pull such a trick off. Love to get your opinion on this one. How does a handprint mysteriously appear 16 stories up on an ice-cold winter's night?
If you want more creepy photos just like these, then check out that video on the top there. Otherwise, there's an entire playlist there filled with some of the scariest photos we've found around the internet. Also, in the comment section below, let us know which one of these photos you thought was the weirdest. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.